What's going on, y'all? It's your boy D Sports. Apologies that I haven't recorded a video in a little minute. Been sick, dealing with a little cold. Been getting over this little cold, man. So I didn't want to obviously come on here and y'all hear me coughing and you know dying and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But enough about me. Feeling better. We got to get back on this grind. Um, so this is really just a quick sports overview, another sports overview. I've done it before, um, and I know we've really been focusing on football, but I wanted to dive first into football, not football, but basketball, and the NBA. So as y'all know, the NBA trade deadline is approaching. I think it's next week, and a lot of news is really starting to fall, man. As y'all know, you know it's been an unwavering and repeated saga, an ongoing saga with Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat. A lot of things have begun to unravel. Shams Charania, senior NBA insider, he's been reporting on a lot of the news. Obviously, Jimmy Butler, I think he, officially requested a trade January 4th. He and Pat Riley have been, they've been having a standoff, you know, and, as my boy, Messiah Telly Dove, as he put it, and I'm just being appropriate here. I don't want to, drive any people away, but it's a flex off. It's a flex off. And it's a show up to, basically say whose blank is bigger than yours. That's really what it is. Again, I'm not trying to drive people away with that, okay? But that's just, we men here. We adults. We gotta keep it real. That's really what is happening. Right? Obviously Pat Riley being the boss, and then you got Jimmy Butler being the player. And look, both sides, in my opinion, I think they're doing a little too much. Obviously, with the Heat repeatedly suspending him, he's been suspended 2 games. Now he was suspended 7 games, and now he was just suspended indefinitely because Jimmy Butler was told by Eric Spoelstra that he would be benched and would no longer be starting, and Haywood Highsmith would be the starting. What's Jimmy Butler's position? Small forward, power forward. He'd be the starting. He'd be the starting. He'd be starting at that position. And Jimmy Butler obviously took that personal, and he walked out of practice, walked out of shoot around, and Miami suspended him indefinitely. The biggest thing with Miami is just, obviously you've now recently, they agreed to listen to trade offers. Like, if I'm Miami, just send Jimmy home. Like, enough with the suspending him repeatedly, or before all that. Like, this is a guy who clearly doesn't want to play for you anymore. He's disgruntled. He's clearly, trying to, big flex and show off in the situation. Send him home. Say, hey, we're going to send you home. Just stay home until we find a trade partner. I think Bobby Marks was the one who kind of recommended that a few weeks ago. So obviously, his potential. What are the suitors, right? Who are the suitors for Jimmy Butler? The Phoenix Suns, I would say, are the number one. That's been the most, most talked about team. Shams Charania has reported to. They recently made a trade per Shams that they traded a 2031 first round pick to the Jazz, and that opened up, that gave the Suns 3 more first round picks. So they have 3 first round picks that they can trade, but it would obviously take a 4 to 5 team trade involving, obviously, that they would have to facilitate to get a Jimmy Butler trade deal done. So it's still, while obviously it creates more draft, it gives them more assets, it still is going to take a bit of work to get done to get Jimmy Butler in the building. And obviously, too, due to salary, they would have to, Bradley Beal, who's on that team, is going to have to waive his no trade clause, and he'll have to obviously, agree to be traded elsewhere as well. Miami, too, they wouldn't be interested, obviously, due to his high contract number. I think over $50 million. They don't want that. And obviously, Beal, he's been solid, but he ain't, obviously he hasn't been the player that he was, in Washington where he was averaging 30 and scoring 20 a night. He's been banged up, injured, and what have you. So, the Suns are, they're a potential suitor. They could use a player like Jimmy Butler. It would be an all-in move. So we'll see if they do that. The Golden State Warriors have now become re-interested in the deal. I'm not sure if they make that, though. I think they're going to prioritize a big man. Nikola Vucevic, I heard, has been rumored in trade talks potentially for him going to Golden State. The Houston Rockets are a potential suitor, but I don't think with how well they're playing, I think they're number 2 in the West right now. I don't think they break up a little part of that core and what they got going on to bring in Jimmy Butler, even though he is a native of Houston, Texas. I don't think they make that move for Jimmy Butler and break up kind of that chemistry. But Ime Udoka does know Jimmy Butler well, and I think would be interested and intrigued maybe to have Jimmy Butler on the team. But we'll see if they do decide to maybe trade some of that young talent. But I don't think they do that. But they do have assets. They have they have draft picks, and they have young talent to trade, and they have some potential contracts to match the salaries and what have you. Dallas Mavericks are a potential option as well. That was one of Jimmy's, I think, preferred destinations. So we'll see where that goes. And again, it's just, we're waiting. We're waiting for that. Obviously, look, it's a divorce in the making. It's just but a matter of time before they finally, Miami and the Heat and Jimmy Butler go their separate ways, and obviously they can move forward. But that's a trade that definitely needs to happen because, man, oh man, it's just been a crazy saga that's been, in the sports world for sure. De'Aaron Fox, this was obviously my boy. Boy Ty, shout out to him. He's been keeping me updated, especially while I've been a little, sick and what have you. De'Aaron Fox, the Kings are open to listening to offers for their all-star point guard. As y'all know, De'Aaron Fox, really good point guard, man. He was drafted by the Kings, I think 5th overall in 2017. He's really been their guy. Even as they've been kind of a bad team, but a guy too who has really played well, all-star caliber player. He is a max player. Turned down a max extension last year. Has not shown the willingness, obviously, to extend with the Kings, because I think knowing that the Kings are just they had that one kind of good year last year, and they had that one good stretch last year. But as y'all seen now, Mike Brown is out. Kings have been they've been winning some games recently, but they still they're in the play-in tournament. I think they're 10th right now. They're the 10th seed or 10th seed in the West. So I think De'Aaron Fox, obviously, he sees the vision that they're probably not going to win here. He's not going to win there. So Rich Paul, his agent, is and he recommended to the Kings that we go ahead and we try to get a deal and a trade done now. And obviously it's smart, right? If you're going to trade De'Aaron Fox, and he's clearly not going to sign an extension, go ahead and get the trade done. Get some key value, and they're going to get some really key value for a player like De'Aaron Fox, who's 27 years old, an all-star caliber player, not even in the prime or kind of creeping into the prime of his career. They're going to get some really key assets back for De'Aaron Fox, a really good player, a guy who's a really good shooter, can facilitate, give you 25 a night, and really could really change a team that's looking, maybe a team that's on the come up, can add a player like De'Aaron Fox, and that could really potentially maybe take them over the top. It'd be interesting, right? The biggest team, obviously, that's been talked about and the preferred destination reportedly is the San Antonio Spurs, right? Teaming up with Victor Wembanyama, I think would be a very crazy duo with he and Wemby. Obviously, Chris Paul is there. I think, obviously, to the Spurs, they have the assets, they have the cap space to take him on, and also offer him an extension at the end of the season. And I think too, right? They're in the play-in tournament as well right now. I think they were the 12th seed or the 11th seed, right behind the Kings in the West. But that could really help improve that Spurs team, right? And I think obviously some players that could be potentially included in a trade, right? Devin Vassell, really solid 3-and-D player. Uh, what's his name? Kevin Johnson. Um, Kevin Johnson could, obviously due to salary, could potentially be involved in a trade, right? They've got the draft picks, draft capital. Maybe Trey Jones uh, could be traded as well. Maybe a player or two with the Kings, like a small end player, could be included in the deal with Fox to go to Sacramento. But it'll be interesting. Some other teams, maybe too, the maybe the Houston Rockets as well. If the Houston Rockets, they want to go all in and make a trade and say, hey, look, we wanna contend for a championship. They want to become contenders. They don't want to just be a win, obviously just a win now team. But the Rockets say, hey, we feel like we're there. Let's make a move. The Rockets are certainly an option. Other than them, let me know, y'all, too, if y'all think, there's some other teams interested or some other teams that y'all think De'Aaron Fox would be great, would be really good on. I think those are really the top two teams. Denver, maybe, but they don't really have the cap flexibility. And I was watching ESPN NBA Today yesterday, and Bobby Marks said it just really wouldn't make sense, and it just really the only player they could trade the Denver Nuggets would be Michael Porter Jr. So, and then they don't have the draft assets to the match. Like, and the 3, 4, 5 team trade thing, it just wouldn't work. Again, with all the money and everything that they've got allocated to that team and that roster, it just really wouldn't work. So that's that there. Football wise, right? So obviously, AFC NFC Championship wrapped up last week. How about let's talk about the AFC, right? Patrick Mahomes, he has a chance to three-peat. Andy Reid, three-peat. The Chiefs to three-peat, man. Travis Kelce. They're going to play the Philadelphia Eagles this on February 9th, next week. Man, just sucks, man, for Josh Allen. Again, having another great game. Another maybe controversial call where I think he got it. He barely got it. I think he crossed the line to gain, but the refs ruled him short. And Chiefs went. They scored a touchdown. Buffalo responded, but then Buffalo it was 32. What was it? 32-29, and Buffalo, had a chance. But what a blitz call by Steve Spagnuolo to disguise the blitz and send the corner on the blitz when Josh Allen shifted the protection to the wrong direction. He didn't see the protection come. He didn't see the blitz come from Trent McDuffie. Since that, obviously Josh Allen has to escape, throws up a prayer, and actually gave Dalton Kincaid a chance, but he couldn't make the catch, and the Buffalo Bills yet again fall short to the Kansas City Chiefs in the postseason. Josh Allen now 0-4 versus Patrick Mahomes in the postseason. Patrick Mahomes is now 5-2 in AFC in his 7 straight AFC Championship appearances. He is now 17-3 in his postseason. That's including the 3 Super Bowls he's already won. And obviously this will be his 4th, and potentially is going to spark, in my opinion, a major discussion if he three-peats. Again, obviously I hate the Chiefs because they're repeatedly there, but I mean, you just can't hate on greatness. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are just unbelievable. Andy Reid is such a one of the best offensive minds, probably the best offensive mind, and he's one of the best head coaches of all time. Not saying that he is the best. Obviously, think it's Belichick here, but I think he's definitely he's got him also doing this three-peat too, with maybe even spark a coaching debate, but it's debatable, of course. How about the Eagles, man? They're rolling. I think really too. I think on paper, they have, me and my boy Sai, we was talking about it the other day. I think the Eagles literally have the team. I think on paper they're a better team. Uh, Talent wise, they're a better team than the Chiefs. Right, their defense is just really great. Saquon Barkley is just absolutely special. He is undoubtedly RB1 this year. Just seeing him and you know everything that he kind of went through and the ups and downs in New York, and now seeing what he's doing now in Philadelphia, rushing for 2,000 yards. He has a chance to break, I think, Terrell Davis total scrimmage yards record, both regular season and postseason. I think it was 2,437 yards. Saquon is like very close. I think only needs about 40 yards or so. He's very close. He's like two. He's number 2 on the list right now. So, and I think he's probably gonna break it this year, this game, in the Super Bowl next week. And I think too, right? I think the Eagles, they're gonna stick with the same philosophy. They're not gonna switch things up. They're gonna keep it rolling with Saquon. I was admired too by Jalen Hurts, throwing the football, had his best passing game of the postseason. Obviously, hey, he still holds the ball long time to time, but A.J. Brown finally got going, 96 yards, his best receiving game. Devontae Smith got some opportunities, Dallas Goedert. And again, they steamrolled the Washington Commanders after Jaden Daniels scored that touchdown. And hey, I'll say it again, man. Look, when you're getting beat down like that, or if you're losing still by double digits, you have no right to celebrate. You have no right to celebrate, because you are losing. And then after that, the Eagles proceeded to score 21 unanswered points. And then the final score was what, 55 to, what was it, 20. The Eagles put up 55 points. It was a complete beatdown, man, versus the Washington Commanders. It was bad pretty much after that. Jaden Daniels, I thought he had a good game though. Other than that, celebration. But the turnovers were the biggest story, right? 4 turnovers. 4 fumbles. Austin Eckler fumbled. McNichols fumbled. Just multiple, Diami Brown, he fumbled the ball as well. When you have a team like the Eagles, and they capitalized. I think they scored 28 points too off those turnovers. They took advantage of those turnovers and got into the end zone. Saquon Barkley scored a 60-yard touchdown on the first play of the game. Like, Saquon Barkley is just special at the running back position, and they are going to need him. The Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl. They're going to need him, obviously, to have another great game. And Jalen Hurts is going to have to step up, right? Jalen Hurts, I think, too, the Chiefs are going to be keen in on stopping Saquon, but they're also going to be keen in on sending the blitz and pressuring Jalen Hurts, who does struggle with dealing with pressure. So Jalen Hurts is going to have to come with his A game, and it's going to take, and I think knowing, too, seeing Jalen Hurts play this team before, and Jalen Hurts had, in my opinion, the best game of his career, the Super Bowl in 2023. Other than that fumble, I thought Jalen Hurts had an amazing game, the best game of his career. He's going to have to come with it and obviously take care of the football. He's going to have to get rid of it quickly, and he's going to have to rely on his weapons to get the job done. And I think Nick Sirianni, being the coach then, they'll be ready. I think they have the team. I think this is really the team that can beat the Chiefs, that can take them down, and in the chance of the three-peat, and the defense too, they can match up again. That defense, again, with that defense line, Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, those Georgia guys, Jordan Davis, All-Pro Zach Bond, Oren Burks, who stepped up for Nakobe Dean. He's played well. Quinyon Mitchell, young potential defensive rookie of the year. I think it might be Jared Verse, but Quinyon Mitchell's had an outstanding year. Cooper DeJean, man, how about him, man? At that nickel position, playing well. Reed Blankenship, C.D. Gardner-Johnson. Again, that defense, that secondary, and Vic Fangio, they're well coached, and going from kind of that middle of the pack, kind of worst to first defense. they've got look they've got a chance. Like right, you know. And look, I think the biggest thing with the Eagles, they can't worry about, you know, it's the refs versus us and whatnot. They just have to go out there and play their game and, you know, play winning football. They can't worry about what the officiating is going to be. They just have to make the plays and get the job done. That's just strictly what it is. You know what Patrick Mahomes, you know what the Chiefs, you know what the Chiefs like to do. And I think, too, they have the better team on paper to do it. You just got to go out there and show it and just beat them and, you know, outplay them. And, you know, obviously be in the film room and take care of business. I think that's really the biggest thing there. Some key ideas that I've been working on. Some potential. I'm working on a video that's going to focus on like the top important and most difficult positions to play. I'm gonna start really getting into that as well. We're gonna be try to get back rolling because again, you know, a little behind. So we're gonna get rolling. Difficult positions, top 5 positions, top 5 positions of difficulty, and what have you. And we're gonna definitely get some videos rolling in here. I got some notes of some video ideas that I want to get out. So I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for watching this video. Like and subscribe. Comment, share. Those who are not feeling well, hope y'all get better. And hope y'all have a great day today. Y'all stay safe and be blessed. Peace.